Okay, so I wrote a few really, really good blogs, and I thought I would put them into podcast form just in case you guys find my voice much more easier to absorb than trying to read a whole shit blubber of words on screen. So I did a post that I really actually liked. It was a triangle pyramid, but instead of the usual, like, nutrition, calories, macros, micros type of thing, the bottom of the pyramid, well, the biggest part of the pyramid is actually mindset and environment, and then it goes into sleep, and then it goes into nutrition, and then into training, and then into subs. And most people look to training like, oh my god, I'm training my ass off, why am I not getting results? Or I'm like, what supplements do you take? And the questions that don't matter as much as what really is most important, and that's your mindset and your environment, and making sure you get enough sleep. And I can be a testament to that because when I went to Melbourne to do one of my really long courses, I hardly got any sleep, and I was just out of it for the whole week following, and I found it hard to do anything 100%. So it just proves how important sleep is. So going into 2019, I'm actually going to try and lay off a lot of my hard yakka work with clients and with my, like, anything that I do online, just so I can reboot so that I can give my clients 500% when I'm back in the new year, and I can also give myself 500% so I can actually study things, absorb things, and just be a better version of me. So clients, if you're listening to this, I'm doing this for you. So, like, I feel guilty enough as it is because I'm such a giver. So trying to give myself time does make me feel guilty, but I do want to do what I preach and walk the talk and be a role model for you guys. So I don't want to do it in silence, which is why I keep talking about it, so that I can actually show you my way of putting myself first, rebooting, and all of that. So I will appreciate it so much if you do allow me to show you how I cope with it and how I put myself first, so that you can probably take gems that could work for you with it as well. And give me that time. So, like, you know that if you message me outside of hours and I'm online, I am going to reply to you if I see it. But if you can kind of appreciate the little time that I do want to put into doing what I tell you guys to do, which is having your pre-bed routine and morning routines, it, like, you will reap so much benefit and reward from it because you're not constantly doing the hustle bustle. And you'll see exactly what I mean when I say that preparation, routine, and structure is just pivotal to your success. Anyway, that's enough blubbering, because I want to talk about stopping self-sabotage, your environment, your mindset, and your perspective. So, look at the mindset, not at the behavior itself, or you will obsess on the externals too much, that you induce emotional stress. You want to focus on a healthy lifestyle. Focus on what you want and the strategy, the yellow brick road that's going to get you there. What you focus on is what grows. So don't focus on the negatives and what you don't want. Like, we always focus about what we want to move away from, the things we fear. You want to focus on the positives and where we're going towards. You want to look at the yellow brick road and the scenery, like, along the road and stuff. Like, I talked about this in one of my first podcasts. So focus on that. And, like, what you focus on grows. So you'll only breed more positive events and more positive everything. More positive mindset breeds more positive mindsets. So ask yourself, why do you find it hard to keep it real and sustainable? You focus on the weight and other external numbers instead of just feeling better and better. And then, like, if all you can focus on is numbers, you attach yourself to numbers. And if they're not moving in the quantitative way that you would like, how do you feel about yourself? But if you focus on feeling better and better and focus on the inside out, not the outside in, and actually see biofeedback as important, the actual qualitative stuff, then you will actually realize that it's a lifestyle journey, and one off day isn't going to throw you off track because you've been feeling so great lately that you know that you'll just pick yourself up from this like less than great point in time and feel better the next day. Like if you just like every single minute, every single hour is a chance to look at something differently and in a positive way. So don't emphasize quantitative stuff. Focus on the qualitative. You need to have faith in your ability. You need to plant seeds of faith, not seeds of doubt, because what you focus on expands. So when you focus on the faith you have of yourself, then all you're going to breed is the subsequent results, the subsequent successes, because you're going to act in line with that faith. So if you don't think you can do something, then you're more likely to not attempt it because you fear failure. But if you plant seeds of faith, then you're just going to grow more and more faith in yourself. Like just today, I had a client message me, I just pulled 100 kilos on the deadlift. Now, to any other person, that wouldn't mean as much as it meant to her. And I know how much it means to her because just recently I've been continually telling her to up the weights. And she was very skeptical of her ability to do so. Or because of the way that she pulls things, or she's impatient with things. And recently she's just been smashing her deadlifts and smashing the squats and smashing her dumbbell RDLs. And the fact that she just pulled that 100 when not long ago I was struggling to get her to push up the weight beyond 90 because she didn't have faith in herself. Like, that is a massive freaking mental achievement. And I was just, like, I couldn't even be angry that she chucked in a 1RM because that signified such a mental shift. And now that she's got it, she is so determined to stick to her program because she knows that she's grown not only as an athlete and in strength, but as a person. So you need to have faith in your ability. Be process goal orientated, not destination based. There is no final finish line. Yeah, you'll have milestones along the way, but that's all part of the process. The issue is only as big as you make it. So keep the issue back of mind and focus your mindset and your perspective on everything positive, because your mindset and perspective is everything. Don't over-glorify or over-dramatize situations, because you're just going to build up your angst over it, just going to build up your stress levels, and anxiety forms from stressing over things and not acting. So don't over-dramatize it. Find an action plan and do it. A body under surveillance can never feel free. So if you're constantly scrutinizing yourself, over-dramatizing different things, and like being so numbers-based and quantitative-based, you're training yourself down. The harsh self-talk isn't going to get you anywhere. The way you talk about yourself and your body, it can never feel free if you aren't giving yourself a chance to truly shine. You need to allow yourself to shine. You need to have faith in yourself. Because until you work on and grow your mindset, your thoughts, your environment, your behaviors, make yourself a priority so that you do give yourself a chance to shine. Just like how I started the podcast out. Your mindset, your environment, your thoughts and your behaviors. Let me say that again. Your mindset, your environment. That includes the people that you interact with and the relationships you make. Your thoughts and your behaviors. You need to make yourself a priority and allow yourself to be selfish. Because only then can you shine. Only then can you give to your kids, to your husband, to your partners. Only then can you be the best person you can be within the workplace, within the household, within your relationships. as a mother, as a wife, as a business owner, as a worker, as an athlete. If you need an extra day to yourself, take it. If you need to demand more time for you, take it. If you are not giving yourself a chance to refill your cup, if you are not even giving yourself a chance to prepare for the week ahead on the weekend, if you are not giving yourself that extra hour to set up your week, your day, then how can you expect to be there for your own body and your own goals, let alone those around you? That extra day, that extra time, that cup, letting it steam, letting it let off its amazing, warm, say it's coffee or whatever's in the cup, but just its amazing warmth. That is when you're able to pour out to others, to nourish yourself, and to achieve your own goals because you're performing at your peak. And if you are not feeling that whole and complete within, then how can you expect to be the lighthouse for those around you? How can you expect to be the lighthouse and stand tall for yourself? This is why I have my set morning and night routine, like I mentioned before, and why I get you girls to do it. You can use a journal, an app, a podcast, music, Netflix. You can use your little pets. Make sure that you set aside just a moment for even self-care Sunday or self-care Saturday, whether it's sitting in a bath, anything. Make your morning time you time. Make the time before bed your time to chill out. You can always practice excellence, but realize excellence and perfection are not the same thing. Perfection demands an all or nothing, black or white approach. Excellence is just consistency. Be realistic and know that progress is not linear. You can't expect to keep putting numbers on the bar. You cannot expect to keep dropping weight on the scale. Like, that's just probably going to take you to 0 kilos. Like, progress is not linear and it's not ongoing. There are always going to be plateaus. There are always going to be back and forth because guess what? Your body is dynamic and guess what? Life happens. You are constantly adapting to the stimulus around you, whether it be good, whether it be bad. As long as you're consistent, as long as you know that it's a lifestyle, and as long as you approach it in a cyclical way and phase your approach and allow your body to adapt in its certain ways so that not only are you going in just the one direction and allowing your body to become so adapted to going down one way that it just plateaus, but you allow yourself to build up a base, to get to a peak level so that you can start on the next cycle like a roller coaster. Except it's not a roller coaster because, well, actually, yeah, a roller coaster that has a way different endpoint than a starting point. You're not going back to the same. You're not going back to the same ever. You're still moving forward. So just say that you're on a roller coaster of life. The ups and downs to get to some destination far, far ahead that you can't even see because the destination goes up in the clouds. All you can see is the next up and the next down. All you can see are the little rung things that are ahead. You can only see what's in front of you. Stay present in the moment because the circumstances, they're external forces. You can't control those. In fact, even compare it to being on a beach with the waves. Like, you don't know when the waves are going to come. You don't know when you're going to get breaks. The circumstances are external forces. You can't control those. Just like you can't control the rain. And wanting the rain to stop pouring is going to do jack shit. But you can put up your umbrella. And you can learn to dance in the storm. But waiting for the rain is just holding you back more. And what if it doesn't stop for a while? Or what if you're late for your appointment then? You just need to pick up your umbrella. Be resourceful with what you have. If you don't have an umbrella, grab your poncho. If you don't have a poncho, just put the hood up on your jacket. You might find a store that sells umbrellas along the way. So do what you can with what you have until you have more tools in the toolbox and then use those. And you can gather momentum along the way, because you're probably going to walk slower to start with, being in that poncho. But as soon as you stop off and get the umbrella, then you'll probably be walking faster, because you're not going to be getting as wet. And then you can get some gumboots and avoid the puddles even more. So, what are you going to do to create lifestyle change so that you can battle external forces and stay strong? Know that your internal focus matters, because life will always happen. And it isn't about waiting for the perfect time or the easy ride, because humans have emotions. And emotions shape the way we act, the way we decide to do things. So, be in control as best you can. Don't be so harsh on yourself. And remember, take the extra time if you need it.